Yo. What up,
Yo.
everybody? It's John Escudero. I'm here with a fucking packed house. Holy shit. Look at all these people here.
Bro.
We will introduce ourselves, starting with Nick and moving from the right to the left. Nick?
Oh, hey. What's up, everyone? It is your boy, Nick LaRocco. Make sure you go and give me a follow when you see me on the Dirt Sheet Radio social media. But yes, I'm also known on here as Neek Dynamite, and I will be leading it on over to my boys, Mac.
Hello, I'm Mac. I've been here all week. I'm Curbside Hero. You know me, you hate me. Let's move on.
And here it is. It's your boy Robbie for a third straight week. Hopefully no technical difficulties tonight, but live in stereo here tonight, boys. Better setup than it was. Now coming on to the next one to the right.
Hey guys, as always, I'm Caesar, hanging out with these gentlemen and our two new friends for the evening. And as always, I'm on the Monday Night Raw episode as well. But tonight we're going to sit down and discuss AEW. Now, where do we start is the question, gentlemen.
What an episode, man. Literally, what an episode.
Yeah.
I think this is one of the better episodes of Dynamite in a while.
Fire.
Dare I say one of the best episodes, period.
Yeah, honestly, just the way the stories were flowing, the way they weaved in that BCC, couldn't we even call them
Episode
BCC,
flow.
the Moxley group story throughout the entire episode. We're going to get into all of that. I just think, in general, the booking since All In through All Out, and now this next episode, AEW's been on fire, story-wise.
Yeah, Ben.
With the
But,
hard cam side.
The hard cam side, check, it's right under these nuts.
Oh,
Got him.
Perfect.
But yeah, man, let's start with the main event. Let's talk about that Tag Team Gauntlet match, which I accidentally keep calling a casino battle royale. The Tag Team Casino Gauntlet match. I don't have the order of the participants.
Ooh, but I do.
Oh, thank
Oh,
God.
Mike!
Yo, we got number one starting off FTR, 7-star FTR, I should be saying. Number two, we have Ospreay and Fletch. And here's the thing, guys. I am just like John in here. I completely thought that this was the Casino Battle Royale variant. So the second that we had Fletch and Dax go over the top rope, I was like, oh my God, did they just get eliminated right now? But yeah, we had number 3 is the Righteous jumping in there. Number 4, Taven Bennett. Number 5, Acclaimed. Number 6, MXM Collection. Number 7, Top Flight. Number 8, the 80s are back because the Outrunners are out. Number 9, Grizzled Young Vets. John.
Can I just say, this crowd, okay, well, first of all, this crowd was kind of shitty tonight. It was a little quiet in all the wrong moments, and some of the times that I really would have expected people to go lose their shit, like I'm losing my shit in my house, they were sitting on their hands. But when the fucking Acclaimed, the Outrunners, MXM, when these character wrestlers came out, these Kentucky people were losing their shit. I was like, bro, this is such a fucking house show town. Don't ever come back here. But no, they want to see character stuff in Kentucky. I'm like, the South, they kind of want their entertainment. I can tell
Characters were big for years in OVW, so it makes sense.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love the Outrunners, by the way. I tell Greg when they first came around, I thought it was a joke. Like I thought they were gonna do a couple appearances here and there and then it disappear. I didn't think they were gonna commit. So AEW was gonna commit so hard to the Outrunners.
People love them.
They got themselves a valet who didn't come out with them tonight, but she's just
Erica
like them.
Lee, the Outrunette.
Outrunette. There we go. She's great.
Outran.
They're so. I want to see what kind of long match they can have. The thing about AEW is that the fans kind of want that match payoff, and that's kind of that's kind of what I'm scared of with the Outrunners. I know their gimmick is that they work 80 style, but I want to imagine that they're actually, they're hiding some modern wrestling skills,
Actual talent
under there.
Yeah.
No, of course they got talent. They wouldn't be where they are if they weren't. But yeah, man, the Ospreay continues his dominance over these Casino Gauntlet matches. The king of the Gauntlet, Will Ospreay. Donnie Patty says he's very underwhelmed by Ospreay and Fletcher winning. He'd rather it be an established tag team because the division is very cold at this moment. And I can't say I disagree with you. I think that Tony might have been considering match quality rather than the quality of the overall tag division, and that might be a little short-sighted. But they did also build FTR and Grizzled Young Vets as they kind of brawled each other out of the entire picture. Like, they cost each other the tag team championships, essentially. So you do have some more traditional tag team feuds going on, but I absolutely agree with you, Donnie Patty. And so I'll start with Nick. What did you think of this main event?
Dude, I love all of the casino gauntlets AEW does. Like, this is one of the best matches that they have. Again, I love how it's the reverse Royal Rumble, how you want to be one of the earlier guys in the match. And I had a feeling that it was going to just get packed immediately because unlike the other one, you've got an extra guy for every entrant, right? So by the time we had all 9 guys, that was 18 wrestlers involved in this. 2 more when you got the Jackson 2 up there on the rampway watching everything. I really liked how a lot of people were, running by and kind of looking at the Jacksons being like, your titles will be ours. And they would just go to the ring. I especially I don't know if you guys noticed this, when FTR was getting ready to come out, the Jacksons were staring at the heel entryway because to them, FTR are the big heels. So I thought that was a nice little touch, and I thought it was also pretty funny when Ospreay was going for the Styles Clash on Vincent. Dutch kicks Ospreay, but I don't think he realized what would happen because in doing that, Ospreay drops Vincent on his head.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, overall, great match. Like we said, Ospreay is absolutely Mr. Casino Gauntlet, and I kind of love that, and I want that to continue being a thing. Mac.
So I don't know if you guys were watching Ring of Honor back in the day like I was, but I'm a big fan of specific people having their match that they always win. So the Briscoes back in the day would always have 2 out of 3 falls matches, and they would always win 2 falls to nothing every single time they did it. They probably had maybe 10 2 out of 3 falls matches, and they won 2 falls to 0 every single time. Nobody got a pin on them. And then finally, right before the Kings of Wrestling were about to leave, the Kings of Wrestling, Briscoes got the first fall, Kings of Wrestling got the second fall, and then the Kings of Wrestling won. So they broke it, and then, the Briscoes went on to do their thing. But I'm always a fan of somebody having their thing. And obviously, Will Ospreay's thing is the Casino Gauntlet. And I didn't expect him to win it tonight. I honestly didn't. I thought they were going to give it to maybe like Top Flight or something because, Top Flight can get a really good match out of the Young Bucks and Top Flight can have a great match. But Ospreay winning again, it just sets up for the future where if he's in another gauntlet match for the AEW World Championship, they're like, well, we know where this is going. And if it doesn't, it surprises you and you're like, oh shit, his streak is broken. That sucks. So it set up a lot of things here. I think that Ospreay and Fletcher getting the shot, it should have been an established tag team, but this match is going to fuck so hard, dude. I don't even care. What do you think, Robbie?
As everybody said, I also enjoyed the main event too tonight. We had really good tag team action from start to finish. In all honesty, I actually thought they were either going to give it to the Young Grizzled Veterans or FTR again, run that feud back, or even to give it the Acclaim, because those 3 tag teams, you're going to get a good match no matter what. But I did like the fact that they were hyping the FTR and Young Grizzled Veterans match for this Saturday to get viewers in for Collision because of the fact of that brawl to the back. Hell, the Young Grizzled Veterans didn't even reach the ring because of that little brawl they had all the way to the back. So just that little nuances of storytelling. And I'm going to agree with everybody here when we say this. But Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher versus the Young Bucks, they're going to give us a fucking banger for sure. They're going to tear the roof off the place. Honestly, I do want to see more Ospreay and Fletcher as a tag team, but I know right now Ospreay's got the international title for right now. But maybe somewhere down the line, maybe we see United Empire coming around in AEW, get Jeff Cobb up in there, get that stuff going, and feud up with the Elite. All right, Caesar, what do you think about that match?
So there was at one point I was trying to figure out if they had to do individual tags, but of course that went out the window after the first 5 minutes. So I eventually was like, okay, it's just every man killing everyone, no matter what. The 3 names I did write down that caught me off guard were, sort of the Outrunners. It was cool to see them. The Righteous, that was awesome to see. Mm-hmm. And then the one that really threw me out the window, but was really cool to see, was MXM. That was really different to see. Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect it. That's what was cool about it. The one thing I know a lot of us were seeing was like, we thought maybe a debut was going to happen, and then everyone started speculating of who might have debuted, and there wasn't a debut. So I'm kind of mixed, but I do agree with Robbie on this one. It would be cool to see the whole like Ospreay and Fletcher go through and the United Empire thing. But to quote Robbie and Mac, yeah, that match is going to go so insanely hard that you'll have to sit down and like get extra comfy for that match, because there's no way in hell you're gonna leave the room. You'll hold it if you have to pee.
So Donnie Patty brought up a good point. What the fuck was Stokely doing out there? He's
a lost child
scouting.
Yep.
And I'm not sure
child.
which of these fucking teams of this list. Where does Stokely exactly fit?
It looked like he was clapping for Dante Martin when Dante Martin threw one of the Righteous, I think it was Vincent, into the barricade. He was like, yeah. But then there were shots of runners like doing shit, and he was in the audience off to the side. You could see him on the camera going, yeah. So I don't know.
I think he was just enjoying himself. He was just enjoying his rap.
I think he was
but see, that's the thing. They wouldn't have pointed out that he was there or had that
for sure.
camera shot. Yeah.
For sure. No, but I mean, even in character, it looked like, because he looked like he was just enjoying the match. But I guess this is the thing about Stokely is that you can't really tell. Like you never knew he was gonna be with fucking Statlander before they put them together, and it just worked. It works really fucking well.
Yeah.
I imagine he'll work really well with any of these teams that if he was to end up with them. But if he does end up with Top Flight, they gotta drop the flight attendant
thing. A flight outfit. Oh, funny.
I think it was called the crossover. Is what they called it. The crossover.
Tony was fucking possessed by Vince McMahon when he came up with that shit.
You know what the thing about that is? It's that it's a little bit too on the nose. Like, get it? Their name is Top Flight. They're wearing pilot's gear. It's like, yeah, Tony, we get it.
What's next? A plane outfit?
That's ridiculous. But yeah, man, that was our main event. That sets up our Young Bucks versus Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher match at Grand Slam. This Grand Slam card, man, we're gonna start building it up as we talk about the rest of the show. But woohoo, what a fucking show that's gonna be. Oh yeah. So we should whip it back to the beginning of the show. In a cold open, Jon Moxley promo comes out explaining his action. This was fucking awesome. This was awesome. I loved all of this. I didn't know this was setting the tone for what was going to be an awesome ass episode of Dynamite. He fucking says,
has failed. Today I choose war.
There it is. Jon Moxley declares war on AEW, Bryan Danielson, and anybody who gets in their way. The reason for taking Bryan out is that he doesn't have the stomach for what comes next. Bryan tried to fix AEW with empathy and understanding. He tried a diplomatic approach. Moxley will not do the same. They had this sick shot of the BCC walking by Bryan's basically dead body getting carried out of the
That's such a good shot.
I was God, really good. Damn, this is excellent. Like, I don't know what came over these people. Oh, this is old. That's an old graphic. I was trying to add new ones. But I don't know what came over the storytellers today, or Jennifer Pepperman, Tony Khan, and his group of what he says is up to 27 people.
Wow.
I imagine that's everybody, that
personalities,
all the producers and shit. But this is heat. What did you guys think of this promo here, Nick?
Yo, listen, like, this was the best way that you could set the vibe for the show. And on top of that, here's why it was also just breaking the status quo. AEW usually never does these, promo videos, and they usually never open up with, vignettes, and just having a video like this at the very beginning of the show was crazy. And I really appreciated, too, how they followed this video up by having Darby skating his way into the arena, and, Darby's there. Moxley's been looking for him. Oh, it was just such a good way to get through it. And, Matt can agree with this. I've been watching a lot of 90s wrestling leading up to some things. And this definitely, again, felt like a major 90s wrestling way to open a show. But at this point, I want to know what my man Caesar's got to say about this.
I've officially reached that part where I want to say that I'm afraid to say shit about John. Like, I feel like he's going to show up at the podcast and be like, I'm going to tear your face off. Like... I got goosebumps during that little vignette promo kind of thing, and yeah, it did add to the show, the tone. So all I'm gonna do is back up and not say anything because I'm afraid Marina Shafir is gonna tear my head off, and let Mac take over.
Oh wow, you really jumped, didn't you? So no, see, I was confused when AEW Dynamite started and they didn't have the graphic. Like, I'm not used to a cold open on AEW, especially something gritty like this. Sometimes I think people get conditioned that if you have a big angle on a show, on a pay-per-view, they're going to make you wait until the end of the show to explain their actions. But no, they came right out and was like, nope, this is what happened. And this is why I did it. I bled with Brian. I tried to create something with Brian, but somewhere down the line, he wanted to be empathetic and sympathetic and try to be, the hero. And there's no room for that here, so he had to go. And I thought Moxley explained, just pulling no punches, not talking in circles, not beating around the bush. He's just like, yeah, Brian had to go because he didn't fit our scheme. And I thought it was great. It gave us everything that we needed right off the top. Now, we'll talk about it later, but I have some issues with the Darby promo, but this was pretty good. And I love that he wrote bitch in the back when he left. That was pretty cool too. So, but Robbie, what did you think?
That cold open, as we all mentioned, we don't see that much out of AEW Dynamite, but the way Moxley articulates, it's something we've been talking about every week. Moxley is a really well promo cutter. He doesn't have to yell. He doesn't have to be flamboyant. He doesn't have to do anything. He just speaks like it is. As soon as he said, "This is war," goosebumps went right on my arms. And touching on what Max said, it is equivalent to what you do in like anything in professional sports. When it comes to baseball or to football, in cases of baseball, this star second baseman is not going to be a part of our team because he doesn't fit what we were trying to do here. And that's basically what he said. He didn't discredit Bryan Danielson on being a wonderful wrestler. He basically said, because he's more empathetic, you're not going to fit us for the long term. But the thing is, too, does that also going to follow that category of Wheeler Yuta as well? Because we saw Yuta in tears when Danielson was attacked. So does that also go for Wheeler Yuta? And the thing is, too, we didn't see Wheeler tonight either. But Moxley has been doing a damn good job on the mic as of late, as he always does. I cannot wait to see how this is going to pay off. Caesar?
I already said mine.
Yeah,
you said yours?
all right. Caesar,
I mixed it up a little.
Fuck you, Caesar.
That's right.
Gotcha. Everything.
Caesar, go again.
So, Nick, I'm sure you got to see this a little more of this Christian promo than I did, because I missed the 5 minutes or about 5 minutes in between what Moxley did and what Christian did, because Triller was fighting with me. Can't wait for HBO Max already. Get him on your shit.
It was good. It was a good promo.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically everything that you could imagine from a Christian Cage promo, but of course it is Christian having that pure aura, if you will, because remember, Nick Wayne told him so. But
An aura.
What was he out here to talk about, though?
Himself.
Yeah,
It was just
himself, the title shot that he wants to maintain. I'd like to personally think in my headcanon that it was really Christian Cage trying to save Bryan Danielson because he knew it was going to happen.
He did say that he wishes that Brie would get CTE so that she wouldn't have to remember the beating that he gives Bryan Danielson. And I think I sent the thing like everybody was up in arms on Twitter, and someone was like, "You don't joke about CTE. That's going too far on a show." I'm like, you're literally talking about the guy that goes around and makes fun of people with dead fathers. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If anybody has a right to make fun of CTE, it's a bunch of pro wrestlers. You fucking goof.
It's the internet. Someone's gonna get offended.
So Christian also said, he goes, "I was gonna come down and cash in my opportunity and become AEW World Champion. And then they showed kind of like the graphic before the BCC stopping him. And he was like, but when I got down to the end of the ramp, I had a moment of clarity and decided, nope, this isn't the time. I'm like, oh, you're such a good heel. You're such a good fucking heel.
That's incredible. I did hear Kip Sabian was sitting out in the crowd.
That was weird.
Once
actually.
again, remember, Sabian has been stalking the patriarchy as of late. Remember,
Yeah,
Sabian, his
Kip was
father
trying
did
to
pass
point.
away.
Oh shit!
Unfortunately,
His father passed away, so he was looking for his own patriarch, and Nick Wayne's kind of been pushing him away, like, no, that's my dad, not yours.
That's right. That's
not
right. I forgot they were doing that. He's totally gonna screw Christian out of the world championship. It's gonna be great.
It's fun too. Wasn't he back in the spot he was originally in the crowd, Kip Sabian, when he used to wear the box on his head? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if this can finally do it. If this is finally it, because they had an opportunity to let him let his contract expire, and they didn't. They re-signed him. They have an idea for him. He was like the forgotten pillar, Kip Sabian. He was one of the original. He was in the very first fucking AEW match.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. He won the first match.
He did. He beat Sammy Guevara, right?
Yep.
That was at a time where Penelope Ford was by his side too, if I was correct too, as well.
Way back then, already.
Yeah.
No, wasn't she with?
I think she was with Joy Janela back then.
Oh, she was with
No,
Janela.
that's right.
Yeah, that's the
Well, it
name.
was
Yeah.
Janela. And then she turned on Janela to go to Kip
I'm a
Sabian. You're right on that.
Bad wrestler. No. So we follow that.
Listen, he had
promo up.
that good lights out match with Omega in Boston. Don't discredit.
He's very good at those kind of matches. I remember he had a good hardcore match with Jimmy Havoc in Progress. I went to see Progress in New York City. That was fun.
And plus, Janela is killing it in Game Changer right now as well.
Yeah, they're great there. But when it came to, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into the whole Joey Janela thing. But
Yeah, let's not talk about Joe.
Yeah,
Remember in the early AEW days when it seemed like they were going to set up a whole like hardcore deathmatch division?
they
Oh, yeah.
almost did,
Mhm.
but then the
Yeah.
fucking hardcore guys.
They kept getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Will Ospreay is gonna do a promo backstage when Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita walk up to him. Takeshita's
so
not
upset.
happy to be here. He does not like Ospreay.
Dude, this whole night Takeshita was unhappy.
Yeah.
But he was unhappy with the Okada thing as well. But this team specifically peeved that they were even here to talk to Ospreay. Look at Don Callis' evil ass smile. Look at him. He's so conniving.
He's like, how can I use you?
But he's here to because Will Ospreay is really good at casino gauntlet matches, and he wants Kyle Fletcher to have an opportunity at the tag title. Turns out Don Callis made the right fucking choice. So he set that up real good. Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay in the main event of Grand Slam. Such good storytelling tonight. Good job, everyone. Good job, everyone. We followed that with Jack Perry versus Lio Rush. I thought this was really good. Essentially, Jack Perry has a little bit of a back and forth with Lio Rush. He gets Darius Martin kicked out of the arena. Oh, Donnie Patty said we're planting the seed for Takeshita leaving Don Callis, and that he'd rather it be Jay White, who cost Christian his title shot. That's actually a really good point. I forgot he owes Christian very much. But yeah, this Jack Perry versus Lio Rush match was pretty good. Jack Perry is coming into his role so well. He's very comfortable here. They got Darius kicked out. He's fucking playing along with the referee.
No, it was Action Andretti.
Oh, Action Andretti. Gosh, all those top flight guys.
John, can I
interchangeable
the
say
pilots.
something? I think something might have went over. I don't know if it went over you guys' heads, but I heard it. Excalibur said before this match that Aubrey Edwards was brought into the Young Bucks, was brought into the EVP's locker room, and she was scolded over something. I don't know what it was, but they said that she was scolded by the EVPs, and she had been acting differently during the day.
Probably something related to the matches that she refereed out all out.
Yeah.
And but yeah, Jack Perry wins the match. He's leaving. He comes in his fucking scapegoat mobile. he has the match and he
School
leaves.
bus, isn't it?
He's headed towards the
Yeah.
scapegoat mobile. He gets interviewed by Alex Marvez. He's like, people like me are crucified in this life so that we can be worshipped in the next. And then he gets in his bus and leaves.
Bible verses.
I like Jack Perry so much.
Can we
Don't
talk
you let
about
him-
how he left the door open when he left for his match, and then the door was still wide
Bro,
open?
the car was running because he didn't
Yeah,
think
I know.
it'd take
Yeah.
long to beat Leo Rush. And
Yeah,
it did
yeah.
probably take less than 10 minutes. I
Half
didn't
a
have
tank.
the time.
Yeah.
That's not very good for the vehicle, by the way. But
Idling it too much. Welcome to Dirt Sheet Radio. We're an engineering recap for all cars. Mechanics are here, boys.
do you know how hot it's going to get in there?
Oh my god.
Well, he does have a window down at the driver's seat, so
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair.
So, Mac, what did you think of this match? Jack Perry in this segment, and everything that went along with it. Even though Nancy has a question, who dethrones the scapegoat? You can answer that as well.
I'm not really thinking about that right now. I don't think those EVPs are dropping the titles anytime soon. I think they're all going to have the titles for a while, and then slowly they'll start to like crumble and lose their titles. But that's down the line. But this match, Leo Rush has that stigma with me. Like, he's really good, but just the shenanigans and bullshit that he's been doing over the past like 2 years, retiring, unretiring, getting hurt, and then finding out he wasn't hurt, but he wanted to take time off, and he thought that people would be pissed at him if he took time off and didn't say he was injured. Whatever the hell he was doing. But you can't deny that he's a great professional wrestler. When he gets in the ring, he's absolutely great. He does the typical, he reminds me of kind of like a smaller ACH, he's fast, he can do flips, he can do groundwork. But I don't know, man. There's just something about him that just rubs me the wrong way, and I really want to like him, but I don't know, man. I can't get past it. And I noticed, you guys probably noticed, but like I don't watch Dynamite all the time. I'm at work. I'm on vacation this week, but there was glass in Jack Perry's Tron, which I thought was pretty funny. Like they're leaning into this whole real glass thing, which is awesome. But Jack Perry, are they going to run this Brian thing back again? I mean, he's doing the psycho knee, and
He's keeping it. He's taking it with him. That sense, I don't mind when that happens. Brian is leaving. He's leaving little pieces of himself behind. Yuta is going to take the cattle mutilation. Jack Perry is going to take the knee. I think it's fine, especially since he's going to start using it as a heel and as a dickhead. So if he keeps it when he becomes a babyface, he already had it, so it doesn't really matter. But he's been using that since he beat Brian in Blood and Guts, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
I think, what does he call it? The glass jaw knees, right? Yeah.
Of course he does.
Yeah, man. But who's next? I'm sorry. I didn't jump into there. I guess I'll take. Probably you can go next.
I can take it. Yeah,
Just go that way.
I can go ahead and take it. Yeah. So basically, that match itself, Leo Rush is a tremendous athlete. I love what they were doing. I love the fact too he pushed Andrade out of the way, but like, hey yo, like, no, I got this, man. Like, I don't need the help, man. But like, what Perry was able to do in that match was pretty good as well. I was hoping to see that DDT off the apron, because when he does that, it looks so devastating. But obviously, we all kind of knew coming into this match, Perry's going to be defending this title. As Max said, we don't think the EVPs will be dropping their titles anytime soon. So that's why I can't pinpoint on who would beat Jack Perry. But the fact that watching Jack Perry again in this new scapegoat gimmick, it is bringing me a lot of vibes from a wrestler we all know and love from ECW. That promo at the end before he went to his little bus that says scapegoat on it, that promo reminded me a lot like Raven, not gonna lie. The poses that he's been hitting, the words that he's been saying, it feels like Raven back when he was in ECW with the synonymous little Edgar Allan Poe-like sayings that he's been saying every week on AEW. But the fact that he's still using that knee and he's giving out his little version of the yes, and he's keeping it. I say Jack Perry is probably going to be TNT for a really long time. We don't know who's going to take it. Some people might say, hey, you can't be Christian Cage. After all, Jack Perry's also on that list too, who doesn't have a father right now because his father passed away. So, but otherwise, I'm loving what it was. It was a great match for what it was. A nice little opening matchup. Can't wait to see what's next on Jack Perry's list of title offenses. Caesar, you may like to go next.
I mean, I'm at the end of the train, so of course I'm going last.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't even get to go yet.
Nick didn't even get to go yet.
Go yet, no.
You want to go in first, Nick?
No, you fucking.
You're the one that was called. You were
Get
summoned.
out of here.
You're summoned.
I agree with you two, the top row gentlemen here. You know, Mac, myself, and Robbie, the top row. I agree with
Fuck
that.
you guys on the bottom.
Yeah.
We're the top
That
guys
sentence
here.
can be
We didn't
taken a
add
lot
side
of
that. We,
different ways. And
Oh,
I'm
shit.
not sure how to feel about it.
No, I do have 2 points to bring up.
Oh, well, the top row disappeared. How'd that happen?
Cutting out our pay, aren't you? No.
Yeah.
There are 2 points I want to bring up. One, this is like a little nitpicky thing. Did the belt seem thicker than normal? Like, does this think it's a newer belt? Because he was holding it in like it had been just a plate. That it could have been on the side. Like they had him like, on a side angle. Like I was watching. Okay, like little things. Secondly,
As time goes on, he like melts more metal onto it.
why not? He's doing
Yeah.
that mysterious shit to do some weird stuff. Secondly, I thought of a name when you guys were the top row gentlemen were talking about this, of who could be the one that could take the belt off of Mr. Scapegoat. Imagine it being the his former partner, Killswitch.
Killswitch, yeah.
That would be pretty sick,
That is
especially since
long-term
he's
storytelling.
he's over
Yeah.
the TNT Championship
Yeah.
too. Like he really is.
They
Oh,
did
I
have that
know.
stare down.
They had that
Like
stare
who
down,
knows
yeah.
when?
Yeah.
though,
I don't even
but-
know if I want him to wrestle again. I want them to be happy together.
So, John,
Oh.
John, during the Christian promo, he said, I have the most dominant, well-rounded big man in the business. He goes, Killshot. People started chanting Luchasaurus, and he was like,
Yeah.
all right, his name is Killshot. Shut up.
I
Or
did
Killswitch.
notice.
Like, shut
I
up.
did notice that they mentioned like Luchasaurus chose this. He's happy to be Killshot. I was like that's weird.
Killswitch.
Switch.
Or kill switch. Sorry.
Wow,
Swerve.
he is happy to be Swerve.
Sorry, Swerve. But yeah, Nick.
Yeah, I want to just say that moment too, where Jack Perry's like Andretti gets kicked out is so funny. I love that. Robbie, when you said that, like, Jack Perry's got those vibes of Raven, I definitely see that. And honestly, I think there's even like more elements you could, take from there. Cause I mean, Jack Perry's been using a lot of what he's gained from wrestlers he's defeated. And I kind of see that like 1998 Chris Jericho in there as well. So there's, I think, a lot of different elements that are going into this Jack Perry character overall. And I'm actually really digging it. A lot of times when he was like Jungle Boy, at a certain point, I just kind of stopped caring about him, I'll be honest. But what the Scapegoat is doing now, I'm loving it. And I can't wait to see what happens. And ever since you guys on the top row were talking about it, I have to agree. The Killswitchosaurus would be the perfect person to go and take that title from him. Plus, it's already forged in a way where it would look perfect with the Killswitchosaurus.
That's right, because of the color scheme that Killswitch now
Yep.
has with the black. Yeah, it would be perfect.
It
Right.
fits him perfectly. They wouldn't have to change a thing.
You know damn well he's getting a dinosaur belt. Come on.
Just the horn. Just the
It's
horn.
gonna be one that says
Horns, the TNT.
It's got Christian
yeah.
Cage's face on the front.
It says his age on the side plates.
I love it.
TBD.
65 million years old.
65M.
Hangman Page finally appears on Dynamite. This is the follow-up to the end of All Out, which is horrifying.
Still very angry.
Still pissed
Still
off.
very
He's
Still up against the
furious.
Swerve.
The fucking this is why he was screaming at the end of All Out, because he's overcome. He's gone. He's lost in this madness.
Super happy.
He's backstage. He tells Renee he's after anybody who stood in the middle of him and Swerve Strickland now. So he's walking down the hall, but some people won't look at him. And the Dark Order is like, or I think Evil Uno tells him like, I don't even recognize you, man.
What happened
Jeff-
to you?
Jeff Jarrett walks up to him and he's like, "Hey man, I've seen a lot of men fall down this dark path." And also, he kind of reminds him that he owes him for going after Karen. And fucking attacks his ass, tosses him into a bunch of chairs.
Yep.
He's unhinged. And
listen,
he's
Karen,
A lot of
losing
refs,
himself.
get him out of here, get him out of the building. Yeah, Karen screaming.
Karen is bugging. I was like, but
A lot
Jeff
of
Jarrett,
wrestlers have
he did this to
gone after
himself. Like,
Karen, so
he did it. Like, he's the one who walked up to Hangman. Like, get out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude,
you
he
kinda
walked
did
up to Hangman, and then Hangman he gave him like this fucking no country for old men speech, and he beat his fucking ass.
I didn't ask for your advice, motherfucker. That's how you do it.
Did you see me?
Yeah.
Did you not see me stick a syringe and then smash a chair over a guy's head and leave him for dead? Like, what do you think you're gonna do, 63-year-old Jeff Jarrett? Get the
One
fuck
of
out of
the-
my face!
One of the Hangman things was what was the problem? That he wouldn't take any advice from any veterans backstage.
Oh, that's right.
Throw the
Yeah.
camera, yeah.
There's
This is what really happened.
Yeah.
Like he threw Jake Roberts into a wall.
this is how CM Punk saw Hangman Page acting. This is how this is how CM Punk sees it.
CM Punk's like, I told you.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, I told you right there.
So did you guys have, I guess, did you want to go around the table on this one or did you want to move on?
I think we
I-
said what we needed to say.
I want to say, like, can we appreciate Jay Lethal in this segment? I don't know if you guys noticed, but
That's
he
right.
looked legitimately angry there, and he
Oh,
had
yeah.
like rage muscles. Like he was all tensed up. Like he was ready to
Get him
fight.
out of
I
here.
love
I'm
that.
fucking hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, Jay Lethal's also scary in this.
But
Yeah,
obviously,
okay.
too, I will add this on, and I think what it is they are trying to rebuild Hangman versus Jeff Jarrett. Because if you remember in the Owen Hart Cup, the person that cost Jeff Jarrett to win that was Hangman Adam Page, because Jarrett beat him earlier on in that tournament, and I think that's also what they're trying to rebuild is getting that rematch going.
They're definitely building to that rematch. Hangman beat the shit out of Jeff Jarrett already, though. In that one match they had, he beat the shit out of him. Like, he got some stuff in, but he beat that old man's ass.
He hit him with the dead eye, and then he was like, he killed him, and then he just stood him up and gave him the buckshot.
Honestly, it's
He
kind of
didn't have to.
scary. It's kind of scary to imagine Jeff Jarrett getting into a real feud with Hangman, because essentially they already had the singles match. So if they have a match, it has to be a stipulation match.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
like
Cowboy match.
Oh my God!
he's
I
gonna
just
kill
thought of
him.
it.
It's a Texas death match, though. It will be.
Oh yeah,
It's
for
a
sure.
massacre match for the title.
Yes.
Oh fuck!
Oh.
Texas chainsaw.
Hangman
Oh my
will
God,
absolutely
I forgot
use
about
the real chainsaw.
Oh shit!
Real chainsaw, cry me a river.
It's on
Damn
a
it,
pole.
Mac.
There you go.
October is coming. You
Oh
can't. I know
no.
Tony Khan
Either
loves that
that.
corny shit.
And it's Friday
Yeah.
the 13th
Yeah.
this week.
He's gonna
Touching
get-
on-
He's gonna get I forgot Leatherface again, the wrestler.
Hey, look at Evil Uno has been dressing like Leatherface a lot recently.
That's true.
Oh shit!
And touching on what
Tony
Caesar
Khan-
said, the Cowboy
How's it-
match, hey, they can throw it on back, do what Dusty Rhodes used to do, the Texas Bull Rope match.
Ooh.
Last Outlaw versus Cowboy, so
Yeah. I mean, that's actually really good. I mean, I hope they go all the way with it, with the aesthetic. I hope they meet each other in the desert. And like, I want
Phoenix?
them to-
cinematic matches.
20
the whole
paces.
thing. The whole thing. Did you
I
notice
do.
they booked Top Flight on 9/11? It's interesting.
Oh God!
Oh no.
Oh no!
It's very,
that.
very
Oh
interesting.
boy!
Totally look great, though.
Oh God.
Yeah,
forgot
Boss
about
Man
that, right.
Slam references all over. I wonder where Akeem was.
At least they didn't book Muhammad Hassan.
The
Oh, he was in Gorilla.
no, it's a reference to reference to the post 9/11 racism that brought America together. Anyway,
You know what really brought America together, though? I gotta say, like, I do. It might have been stupid, but now that we talked about it, I actually appreciate the fact that everyone was scared of him, but Jeff Jarrett was willing to step up to the Hangman. I thought that was actually pretty cool. Now,
that actually is really cool because it shows like that last outlaw thing really
yeah,
is real. I really need Hangman to at least wear a cowboy hat once. I know they did the whole you don't have to wear a cowboy hat to be a cowboy, but just once,
Cowboy
just
versus
one
cowboy
time,
match.
for one entrance on one horse. Even though rest in peace, Hunter Horse Hemsley,
Just
the original,
whole-
the horse from the original, the horse from the original All Out, or the first All Out. Anyway, the next segment was Private Party and Commander thinking that they're gonna have a match tonight.
And
Oh,
Cheesecake
God.
was there.
Can we give an appreciation for the dance moves that Alex Abrahantes had?
Oh, he was throwing down hard. He was good.
Also,
He was ready for this opportunity.
Excalibur slyly confirming the Lucha Bros are gone. On commentary, I don't know if anybody noticed that. He
Nope.
mentioned Commander and Alex were looking for a new crew to be with. And I was like, oh, there it is.
That's
Oh,
sad.
boy.
That is that. But
Dude.
yeah, so nothing comes of this. They get the shit beat out of them. Pac,
Literally.
Moxley, Marina Shafir, Claudio are here. They got shit to say. Pac grabs the mic and he says, AEW is broken. What happened on Saturday to Bryan was inevitable. This grouping of these people becoming the way they are, inevitable. The prophecy is fulfilled. AEW belongs to them. Pac has been lost for a long time, but now he's found a home. BCC leaves. I don't know if they're going to be Blackpool Combat Club, but I don't know what else to call them right now either. The
John,
Lost
are you
T-shirt gang.
Are you getting excited about that Wrestle Dream thing they had behind Pac too?
I actually didn't realize that they were they shot it that way on purpose too. They kept
Yeah.
framing it like they kept
Yeah.
trying to frame it. like stop moving. We're trying to get the fucking sign on your shoulder.
Can we also talk about Marina Shafir turning Commander into a corpse? Like,
Right? She ended Commander.
dude, she killed this guy and sent him to hell. Like, what the
I love how it's all these massive dudes, some of the biggest stars in wrestling, and Marina Shafir is the enforcer of the group.
Yeah.
Like, that is
Silent
insane.
but deadly.
dude,
It's
she
such a-
bowed up the Darby later.
Yeah.
Moxley has,
Marina Anderson,
Moxley
the
has to
enforcer.
calm her down. Moxley has to stop Marina Shafir or she'll kill. This is the coolest way to present
He has like
someone.
a safe word.
Like I know that she had been improving in the ring, but when they finally do put her amongst the women's division with this kind of presentation, it's gonna be really interesting. Also really hard.
To be the killer.
Have you seen
Not to
her
give her a
on
belt.
Ring of Honor lately at all?
Have you seen Ring of Honor lately at all?
Yes, I have the fucking app. I gave it to you, John.
We watched
Shout out to Mac.
pay-per-views. Mac, I've been watching Ring of Honor for 22 years. No, for 20 years. And for 20 years, I've been watching pay-per-views only. Ring of Honor Weekly TV has never been good. I don't care who owned it.
Listen,
That's
if you're
valid.
bored and you love wrestling
If-
and you're doing something else, just put it on the fucking background. You can look up once in a while. So listen, so
No, I'm good.
she's just been fucking killing bitches, man. All she's been doing is she does this thing now. It wasn't the thing that she put Commander in, but it's kind of like a backward sleeper where the face is facing like this towards you, and
No,
she's got your
front
body.
guillotine.
Yeah, she's got
That's
no.
cool.
It's a front forward like sleeper, and she.
Uh,
and
Okay.
Is it the
Like, girl-
Dragon Sleeper or
No,
I don't
no,
know
no.
which
So
one you're
her-
talking about?
got you like your she's like legs around her this way, and she's got them like this.
He's
and the
describing
face
sex.
No,
Someone needs to check on Roddy's
Honor
stat.
Or
and she's got the girls like this, and she's choking them out with their face like on her shoulder like this. And
she's
then-
whispering into their ear or something.
Yeah,
too.
It's
She's doing it.
sort of like a straight
Hold up,
jack
baby.
goal.
But
You just
they've
go
been
to sleep,
putting-
bitch.
They've been putting the move
Feels so
over like
good.
crazy on Ring of Honor
Yeah.
because the girls are going out like in like 3 seconds.
Okay, so they're setting up for something on TV. That's great. I need to start watching Ring of Honor as the way I used to watch Dark, rather than thinking of it as
Yeah, dude, just-
Whispering into their
Ring
ear.
of Honor.
Yeah.
Speaking of exclusivity is apparently done. We might get Dark back someday. That'd be nice. Yeah.
Oh, let's
Don't
go.
joke with me on that one.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah.
Not joking. Anyway, we followed that segment up with Ricochet and Sammy Guevara.
Hold on one second. We need to talk about a major plot hole here.
What's that?
Isn't Cheesecake supposed to be Private Party's personal security?
You know what though? Cheesecake is also very smart. He said, "You have to hear me out. You know how
here.
many people were in there?" And just
I was outnumbered. I know when to retreat. I was in the military.
Yeah,
Yo,
she's like, I'm out the hair. Bye.
am I the only person though that was also kind of disappointed because I was like, okay, Private Party and Commander going to get a victory on TV, even if it's to some local jobbers. And I'm like, oh wait, no, they're all going to be fodder.
As soon
I thought
as
that was
saw Pac,
funny as fuck. Like, who would have even fought them tonight? I wish that there were 3 jobbers in the ring that scattered.
There were.
Scattered. I didn't see them.
It was the guy that is Unmasked Serpentico and 2 other locals.
I never saw them. I guess I missed that whole thing.
They barely showed them.
Ah, man, this is the problem with covering a show while you're watching a show. You have to look down sometimes. The fucking did they get beat up?
Oh yeah,
I seen one get dropped on the guardrail by Claudio, but that
Serpentico.
So John Cruz, who's Serpentico, he got thrown out of the ring by Pac, and when he got thrown through the second rope with a running start, and just missed the floor completely and hit like the barricade against like the crowd. And then Claudio comes over, and he goes to do like the press slam, but he screw it up. Like I don't know if Cruz screwed up or not, but Claudio went up for a second time and just picked him up and just like went like that and dropped him. Like you go up the first time, motherfucker.
So, excuse me. I forgot where we were. Oh, fuck, the Ricochet match. Ricochet versus Sammy Guevara. They went out there and they did exactly what you think they would. And it's not, and I mean that in the best way possible. It was a great athletic showcase.
Flip forever.
They did, in fact, flip forever.
Which was a comment sent by the one and only Mama Laraco.
out of nowhere, just coming in.
Perfect. So Ricochet gets the win and then immediately gets attacked by Beast Muertos. Sammy reluctantly gets in the ring to save him. What did you guys think of this whole situation? Ricochet on the ladder, headed towards Will Ospreay. I don't know how far away we are from that match exactly. I wonder if Wrestle Dream would be the place for a match like that. I'm so biased that I'm like, put all of your biggest matches on the same show. Absolutely.
Yeah, same show that John's going to.
Yeah, so convenient.
That's just a secondary thing that I'll be in the crowd. What's that even mean?
You know, if it happens, it happens though.
If it happens. But
just do Brian Nigel too at Wrestle Dream. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Danielson versus Daniel Bryan.
What did you think of this match?
Dude, this was awesome. And again, like we wrote on comicbookclick.com, go check it out. This was absolutely a huge athletic showcase for not just Ricochet, but honestly Sammy too, because I think Sammy's really needed to be able to show what he's done, because it's been a while since we've seen him on Dynamite and even just AEW TV in general. So it was really nice to be able to see what both of these guys can do. And again, I'm just thinking about that one part where Ricochet is telling the fans, move out of the way, move. And he just goes railing, Sammy. Like, oh, that was so good. And Ricochet is so fluid in everything he does. He is so swift. Man is literally overdrive every single second. Like the Contron indicates, he is just out of this world. It's absolutely tremendous. But you know what the best part was, though? That we got to see some dominance from the one and only Beast Muertos. Loved it. But I'm going to be throwing this up. I want to know what you thought, Robbie.
That match gave me a really special feel of what Lucha Underground used to be when Ricochet was Prince Puma and Guevara was in there too. It gave me that Lucha Libre style, that Lucha Underground feel to it. Sammy Guevara, right away during that match, going up top to the top of that little stage set that they got there, doing a beautiful moonsault, might I add. A beautiful moonsault off that. Honestly, I actually literally thought that Sammy Guevara might have gotten injured doing that, but thank God he did it. But let's also talk about the spot where Ricochet is telling the crowd to move. And then
they're really taking their time moving too.
Yeah, they did. Because I don't think the crowd's like, wait, why do you want us to move? And then Ricochet comes around and just does a double jump off. They do a double
Can't live
jump
off your fried chicken forever.
off the guardrail into a beautiful flip. That was truly amazing. Obviously, I looked down in the wrong second to see how the finish was, and then all of a sudden, as soon as I look up, fucking Mortos coming in like Rhino hitting Rock with the gore, and all I see is just Ricochet just getting turned inside out. So I believe overall that match was great. Gave me a nice little throwback to Lucha Underground with those two. Hopefully Sammy Guevara is going to be more on AEW Dynamite. Big fan of his. Can't wait to see what Ricochet is going to do next, but maybe Mortos is going to be that guy that's going to be the obstacle for Ricochet before Ricochet can get to Will Ospreay at Wrestle Dream. So maybe they will do something at Grand Slam between Mortos and Ricochet, or on Rampage Collision, whatever, to see if that is going to be what Ricochet has to do. Because if you looked at earlier on in the match, Sammy Guevara actually went out and said, this guy has only been here for a little bit. I've been here since day one. So maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're trying to build Ricochet into saying, hey, he just got here. Let's build the character the right way. Let's not throw him into anything right away. Let's have him earn a couple wins here in AEW, so that way people are not just going to sit there and say, we're just pushing ex-WWE guys because they came from WWE. But otherwise, Mac, I want to hear what you have to say on this one.
So the way that the match started out with them, like, doing the really overly choreographed, like, I'm going to kick you, you duck, we come up, we both try to super kick each other. You catch my foot, I do a flip, you catch me, I do a flip. I'm not a fan of that. It feels like and I hate to sound like Jim Cornette, but it seems just like a gymnastics routine. But once they were like into the flow of the match, I felt like it got a lot better, and I started to enjoy it. I really thought that Sammy sent his ACL to hell when he hit his leg off, when he did the backflip off of the entranceway. I really thought he hurt himself. The way that he was selling his leg, I was like, oh God, please don't be hurt. Ricochet telling the fans to move, and it took them 40 minutes to move, and hitting that spot. Dude, I was like, please don't hit the stairs. Please don't hit the goddamn stairs. Please don't Rey Mysterio yourself at Spring Stampede and hit your head off the stairs.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out. He hasn't hit the 630 yet, which I think that they might be saving for the Ospreay match, which, kind of like when Ospreay wasn't hitting the Tiger Driver. I think that he's going to pull that out in the big match. Ricochet does the 630, right?
He shouldn't. No. Well,
yeah, he does the 630. Yeah.
Sammy's been using it as a. Sammy's been using the 630 as a finisher in this company for fucking 5 years now.
But in Ring of Honor, he's been using the Shooting Star Press. So maybe they told him, "Hey, don't do the 630 anymore."
That's crazy. I would have been hot. But
but I do like Ricochet's finisher. I do like the what do you call? I forget what he calls it.
It was Vertigo.
That's Vertigo. I do like that finisher. It's a really good finisher, and then the legs pop up and gets him in. So it was good. Yeah, I liked it.
That's fucking huge. Jesus just informed me that the Elite, the Young Bucks, and I want to say, is it Jack Perry or Okada?
So, probably Okada.
Okada feels the best there.
The Young Bucks and Okada versus the fucking. Oh, Jesus Christ, it is. The Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada versus Will Ospreay, Konosuke Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher.
That's going to
go. Damn!
We're going to be eating good next week, boys.
Next week's Dynamite. Fucking hell, this company is
forward to next week.
I love this. I love AEW right now. Jesus Christ. Okay, so.
Couldn't give that to me this week, Tony, when I was on vacation.
No,
couldn't
sir.
No
shit, I just
watch it.
Shit.
Justice for Mac. Justice for Mac.
Did we all get to go?
You did get an absolutely perfect episode of Dynamite, though, Mac.
No, I know.
Lucky you.
Yeah, you did.
Did we all get to go, though?
Caesar.
I think Caesar still has to go.
Caesar said.
I'll add like the little creme de la creme at the top of this fun day, and just say like the way that Ricochet was portrayed in this match is how he should have been portrayed with WWE. Like whether it was his simple shit, the quote, as Max said, the gymnastics kind of stuff, or the crazy shit he did on the railing. Like, I couldn't get off the couch, and I had to use the washroom, and I had to grab a drink, and I was like, no, I'm not getting up. Even with the picture-in-picture stuff, I was still staring and watching. So I'm locked in and ready to see where this goes in regards to Ricochet in the next 2, 3, 4 years, whatever he does. That's what I've got on this one.
All right, so we followed this segment up with Takeshita backstage running into Okada, who was bragging about how easy it was to win that four-way match. Takeshita wants a shot at this championship, and Okada's like, he'll be champion someday, but not the Intercontinental champion. Bitch. And so he walks away. Then we follow that with the big segment of the night, I thought. Darby Allin makes his way out to the ring. Get out of the way. Darby Allin makes his way out to the ring. He's unadvertised. We didn't know he was coming. We just knew he was in the building. But he wants to talk to Jon Moxley. You've been looking for me. I'm looking for you. Moxley comes out. Marina Shafir is about to whip Darby's ass.
He wanted to ruin his day. Holy shit.
Yeah, man. So, she's so fucking scary. So, Darby tells Moxley Darby has a story for him.
I wanted to beat my ass.
And you remember, Darby was looking for heroes when he first joined this business, but every hero that he found was a fucking phony. Except for Moxley. Moxley was real. Moxley did this shit for the love of the business. Moxley could be found in gyms to this day doing it because he loves pro wrestling. Moxley and Darby didn't even meet in AEW. They met in a gym.
And
High school.
It was New England
NEW.
Wrestling, yeah.
New England Championship Wrestling, yeah.
Do they still run shows?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
Interesting.
I'm in the New England area. They do run shows still.
Nice. So, like I said, Moxley says, except for Mox, you were the realest dude out here until you took out your own brother, Bryan Danielson. I would never do nothing like that. Nor would Darby associate with somebody like that. So what do you want? And Mox is like, I don't have time to explain what's going on here. But he loves Darby. He never lied to Darby. He just needs Darby to trust him and give up that world title shot. Darby's like, have you been drinking again? You got to earn that shot like anybody else. Mox is like, well, we killed Bryan, so he probably won't be defending his title at the pay-per-view. How about you and me fight instead? You put that title shot on the line. Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin for a shot at the AEW World Championship at Grand Slam. I thought of this in two ways. One, I was like, well, that's a bait and switch for people who bought the ticket to see Darby. Or I don't know how many people bought their ticket specifically to see Darby fight for the World Championship, but someone might have. Anyway, but also, I actually didn't care because I'm not going to the show and that's not my business. The story was that they gave Darby this shot so that we can get to this point in the story. This was not a real title shot that he was given. This wasn't like a shift in direction. This was just a chapter in the story that they're telling. I like that shit. I like how we got here. I guess some people are probably going to be really bothered that they're not getting Bryan versus Darby, but I'm like, you're getting Bryan Danielson versus Nigel McGuinness. I'm not sure that you have a leg to stand on.
Oh, I got a lot to say about that.
Darby doesn't, like I said, this isn't a real title shot, so I don't give a fuck. This is not my business. I'm not going to be at the show. So this is a great story they're telling here. Best segment of the night, I thought. Nick, what did you think?
Dude, this was amazing because, again, we've had how many segments leading up to this very point? We had the cold open. We had Darby arriving to the arena. We had them basically cleaning house with a lot of the local jobbers and Private Party and Commander. And now we finally get to this thing. Darby's like, all right, I hear you've been looking for me. And this was what it needed to be to get us from point A to point B. But more importantly, the thing I appreciated more, besides just the barbs that were being thrown back and forth, was the fact that they just made the assumption Danielson was too hurt to defend. Both guys just made that assumption. But Nigel, being Nigel McGuinness, he saw this and was like, now's my chance. Now's my time to shine. And I know we'll talk about that in a little bit, but this was, I think, a perfect way to segue into that. And again, it felt like a perfect thing for all of these characters involved here because Nigel would absolutely be that opportunist.
That's a good
Yeah.
point. Before you move on, I wanted to agree with you really hard on that. It wasn't just the Darby thing. It's how they set up this sneaky, underhanded Nigel McGuinness move. Like that's perfect. That's exactly what the fuck he was waiting for all this time on commentary. He's been waiting for someone to kill Bryan and really, really demolish him. He's been championing this for months. He's been wanting somebody to do this, and now we know why. He wanted them to weaken him so that he can fucking ask him for this match.
Yep.
That's incredible. Good stuff. I'll give it back to you.
That just it flowed so nicely throughout tonight. Like that's one of the things I loved about this show in particular. But yeah, the way they did this was cinematic par excellence. So bravo to them. And again, I love the way this also helps set up that opportunist that we saw for months and that we've known him as for years, Nigel McGuinness. But Mac, you were talking about a lot to say. I can't wait to hear it. Let us know what you got to say on that.
No, it's not. I have a lot to say about the Nigel thing. But I do have something to say about this. I fucking love Jon Moxley, man. I love him so much. I think he is the heart and soul of AEW. You can have your pillars, you can have your guys that started the company and it was there day one. But Moxley, not in this company doesn't feel the same to maybe this company doesn't survive. He's the heart and soul absolutely of this company. You can put him in the main event, you can put him at the beginning of the show. He's going to feel like the most important person on that show. And he's been that guy for a long time, whether he had the title or not, or he was just doing BCC things. God, I can't say enough. When his promo style makes you believe, he makes you really even though pull back the curtain, it's all scripted, but he makes you feel like he believes in what he's saying. And I love when a wrestler says things. He's like, "Hey, listen, the best thing for you to do is to get," and it's asinine, I understand, but the best thing for you to do is give me that title shot so that I can be the champion and I can run this company the way that I want to. And you know what he's going for. You know that he's trying to bully his way into into being champion, and he thinks that Darby Allin's a pushover, and that's kind of what you want when you have Jon Moxley as a heel. You want him to still have the confidence that babyface Moxley has, but just do it in a shitty way. And I think his character is just all encompassing, man. Whatever that guy does, he puts his whole ass into it, and I really appreciate it. And this was good too. I think Darby still needs a little bit of work on the microphone. He came across to me a little bit as like a little kid screaming, but I get what they were going for, and I'm willing to look past it, and I can dig what they're doing. And I think Moxley's winning that title shot, because I think they're ultimately going to go with Bryan and Moxley after Moxley killed Bryan on Saturday. But I wouldn't be surprised if Darby actually won and kept it. Maybe with some interference, but if I had to put money on, I'm saying that Moxley's gonna win that title shot. Robbie?
To add on what Mac was saying on that, I actually do agree with you. I do think Moxley is most likely going to beat Darby at Grand Slam to get that title shot. But the way Darby did a great job of doing a little bit of something he doesn't do normally, and that's peel back on him and how his life is and the character who he was, by saying, like, Mox, you were my favorite wrestler, but after what you did to Bryan, I can't respect that. That was fucked up that you did that. And the fact that Moxley also, I want to add this little thing in here, that Moxley told Darby, you were not ready 5 years ago, you were not ready 2 years ago, and you're not ready now. So it's might as well you give up that title shot. Those little bullying antics of trying to get into Darby's mind, saying, you're not good enough still. You can sit there and you can put your body at risk at everything, but you're not ready. I need to turn this company around. And the only way we can take this company and turn it around is if I'm champion. He's saying, I'm the one who has to finish off Bryan. You have no issues with Bryan. Just like Bryan, you lack empathy too. So therefore, I should become champion. And to touch on what Nick said too, they did a great job building up to that moment tonight. From start to finish, great job on the build. That's probably one of the first times in a while I've seen Tony Khan really articulate what we were wanting to see, how we were waiting on. And honestly, I can't wait to see more of the promos from Moxley, seeing where this is going to lead up to. And also with Darby and Mox, that's going to be a good match. They're going to tear it up. If I was correct, the last time Darby and John went against each other was for the TNT title a couple years ago, and that went to a time limit draw, if I'm correct, or did Mox come out on top on that?
I don't think they ever fought for the TNT title. I think they fought for the AEW World title in the pandemic era of Daly's place, and I think Mox beat him.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
because I know they faced each other before, so I know it's going to be a good match. But the question is, though, how's Marina Shafir going to be into that match? Is Moxley going to win it cleanly, or is she going to be that silent but deadly type and strike on Darby and just yeet him like China yeeting an Eddie Guerrero or yeeting a freaking Chris Jericho?
I don't think that Moxley cares for rules or things like that right now. I don't think that matters. I think that's one of the more interesting things about what's going on with this Moxley thing. He's really got a goal here, and I'm not sure what the fuck it is. And he doesn't have time to tell us. It's very urgent. He needs to get this done now. I'm like, what the fuck is he trying to do? Like, what is he trying to, protect or save AEW from? Like, what the fuck is coming?
All we know is what Pac said earlier. Diplomacy is broken in AEW. He's gone.
They're here to take the company. They want the company. That would actually be God. The more they add people to this, and the more they create the faction. When the Shane McMahon thing first came out, I was like, this is the dumbest shit. I mean, unless he could come in as a character, right? And I guess that's funny and that's cute, but like, what do you really do with Shane McMahon? And Shane McMahon built this group of fucking killers to come into AEW with. I can't even hate on that. Look at these people that he's surrounded with.
You put him in that A-list storyline, because why? He's a McMahon. Like, come on. What else can he do?
Shit. Dude, Shane McMahon has a history with all these people. They all worked in WWE at the same time that he was there. Pac was Neville, Claudio was Cesaro, Moxley was Dean Ambrose. And I don't think he needs to have a relationship with Marina Shafir.
No, he does. Remember, Shafir was on Raw Underground.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, she was. Fucking hell. This is actually Shane McMahon, isn't it?
This is gotta be Shane McMahon,
bro. When Shane McMahon shows up in New York City, Grand Slam.
Can he use that?
Hold Moxley's hand up.
Sure,
it's gonna be like a Death Rock version. It's gonna be like, here comes the money.
You know what? I didn't want Bryan's last match to be Moxley, even though it kind of bookends the story of the BCC, because it started with Jon Moxley versus Bryan Danielson, and narratively it's actually the perfect way to close the circle.
Speaking of a narrative circle, one of the things I wanted to bring up, we talked about Moxley and Darby, so I pulled up their cage match history. They've had a lot of matches on Dynamite, but 2 matches that were singles matches where they were against each other. Moxley has won both of those. Any other match that they were a part of on Dynamite and Dark and Elevation, any of those matches, they were on the same side, either teaming up together against 2 other wrestlers or teaming up with someone like Eddie Kingston.
I think one of those matches he hit Darby with like a Death Rider from heaven, right?
Yeah.
One of the most
dude.
Yeah, lethal ones.
Darby was on the second rope, and Moxley was kind of like on the Darby was on the top rope. Moxley was on the second rope.
He lifted
down,
him.
He just smashed him. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
it's horrifying. But yeah, man, this is gonna be crazy. I honestly, I really believe that they were gonna give Darby the main event in Washington in front of 20,000 people.
Mhm.
It just made sense to
It
me.
felt right at the time.
Especially the way that they do things here. I mean, I guess if you don't do Darby versus Bryan, and you're not doing Swerve versus Bryan, then logically you do Darby versus Swerve, because that's the Washington match. That's like the two Washington guys going at it in the Tacoma Dome in front of 20,000 people. I don't know how we get there, but that's you still have to have that big Washington hometown moment when you have so many hometown wrestlers on the roster.
If Darby loses to Jon Moxley and loses his world title shot, you can do the story of, hey, I've lost everything. Hey, I've lost everything. I have nothing to lose, so let's just fight.
Let's fucking do this shit. I'm down.
Yep.
I'd take it.
Yep.
So this is where we got the segment where Nigel realizes what's happening. He rushes up to Christopher Daniels, who's in the middle of some other shit. He's like, I need to talk to Tony Khan right now.
Yeah.
He's like, what are you fucking talking about? It doesn't matter. Tony Khan's gonna want to hear this shit. And then that kind of got a lot of people's ears perked up. Like, what is Nigel doing? So we follow that up with Mariah May defeating Queen Aminata. I love this. I love them. I knew this was gonna be this when they came out. They're both, I don't know, like, how much work has Queen Aminata done in Japan? Do we know? Because if she hasn't, we need to send her over for excursion. We need to mix her up with the Stardom girls. She is so physical. She is such an anti-American women's wrestler. Like,
I know that she was training with Athena.
Yeah,
and I know Athena has some extensive Japanese background. Like when she fought Athena for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship. I think it was at I forget what it was at. I think it was at Death Supercard of Honor. They tore the house down. They killed each other, and then Aminata fought Billy Starks for the inaugural Women's TV Championship, and they tore the fucking house down. So she came right out of the gate in AEW and Ring of Honor, just killing people.
Look, if Athena has a school where she's shitting out little Queen Aminatas, like, get the fuck out of here. Have we looked into this? Has we sent the government there yet? So we.
So I'm actually looking on Cage Match right now, and I know me on Cage Match. And Aminata has wrestled some matches in Japan in 2019 and 2020 before the pandemic.
Was she? Oh, nice. Where was she? TJPW?
Marvelous and Sendai.
Nice, fucking nice.
Sendai girl,
nice. We need to get her back over there immediately, because her and Mariah May came out here tonight, and they essentially had the closest thing to a Stardom match AEW's had since they had the Stardom girls here, which is coincidentally what Mariah May is asking for. But can we see this clip here without Tony Khan getting mad?
Really deep to hit that throw, and there's another as a release German suplex. Well done by the Queen. Suplex, the champion. Mariah's blocked. Aminata, she was looking for that running shot against the ropes earlier. Trying to pull from the people here in Lexington. No, man, God.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's so crazy. It turned Mac upside down.
Oh, God. I was dead. Dude, I was dead. I don't know what happened. I died.
That's the hard it hit him.
No, yeah, this is the kind of shit I want to see, man. I love Queen Aminata so much. I love seeing her climb the ladder in AEW, and this is yet another opportunity that she knocked out of the park. They need to stop playing around, put her in something significant before this year is out. She needs to be in the TBS title picture. She needs to be. Take that shit for all I want. But Caesar, what did you think of this match? Oh wait, I forgot. Mariah May beats Queen Aminata, and then she lays down on the mat. She's almost in tears. She grabs the mic and she says, "Something is missing.
Mina, come back.
None of this is working. Mina Shirakawa, please come back." Well, again, to which this is one of those moments where I was like, the crowd should have known what was going on here, but they didn't. They were just, ready. They were ready to pop for music or a finisher. A very shitty crowd. Back, can we fix you? How do we get you back? He's in Australia.
Click
Am I still upside down?
Yahtzee.
Oi!
Yeah,
Let me
you
try
are.
to leave and come back in.
Yeah, we'll be here.
I'm gonna
Supposed
piss
to
and
be
come
here.
back in.
Ain't going
I
nowhere.
really do drugs.
I'm gonna
So,
piss and come right back
Caesar,
in.
what'd you think of this match?
Honestly, whoa, this is weird being 4 people now. I've seen some of Queen Aminata's matches. I mean, I've seen lots of Mariah May's matches, and I agree with you guys. Holy shit, that woman can hit. And I don't know, like, if she just naturally just likes to be like a murderous woman in the ring, but whoo, like I felt like those chops, those kicks, the hip attacks. I know some people are a fan of that one. Are pretty intense. So I don't know what's gonna happen going forward with Queen Aminata, but I am intrigued. And of course, I do agree with John when it came to the whole Mariah May situation at the end. I actually too was waiting for the pop to kick for Mina's music to hit. I was like waiting, but nothing ever happened. Am I bummed? Yeah, I can wait. But the match, the women's matches are getting way better. So I don't know who's in charge of it all, but thank you. Oh, look at that. We drafted Nick to the top row. Oh, John's on the top row. Oh, no.
Fixing us back up. There we go. We're all back.
Hold on. Should I make you
Same
guys
order.
comfortable? Hold
Nobody leave. No, Max, stop it. Nobody.
Stream.
Stay where you are.
Let's go. Nick, what did you think?
Woo. You know what? This was an absolutely hard-hitting match, and I honestly thought it was going to be a little more hard-hitting, but you know what? Absolutely, it needed to be everything, and Caesar is very close to the camera there.
Just keep talking.
Yes, sir. But listen, like, I absolutely appreciate what both of these women bring to the table, and just knowing how we had, just bring it closer, just knowing how we both, all 3 of us, all 4 of us, there we go. Everyone just getting close. The fact that we have so many amazing women on this roster, and this was just the tip of the iceberg, and then calling out the prospect for Mina, and then just again seeing how we have many more women that can just like get pulled up in here. It's great, and I like how Mariah May is a fighting champion. She's proven it last week, she proved it the week before. She is just absolutely on fire, and I appreciate every single thing about her. So let's shoot it on over to Mac, who just rejoined us.
Dude, I gotta tell you, like, Aminata has like the look of like a star. Like she can wrestle. She looks like she was built out of like the finest like granite stone. Like she's just an incredibly like beautiful woman, and when she gets in the ring, she just kicks fucking ass, dude. Like I said, I've been watching her on Ring of Honor, and now seeing her on AEW and mixing it up with like Mariah May. Man, I would love to see her get in there with Toni Storm. I would love to see her get in there with anybody, Willow, Chris Statlander. Like, man, when I think about Queen Aminata's future, like in the women's division,
It's big.
they could build her up to have the same star power as Jade. They might have the next Jade on their hands, and I want her to be. I want that whole fucking women's division to be built around her when Mariah's time is up. Like I think the world of her, dude. I think she's great.
So before we bring on the next person, guess how tall she is? This is kind of out of nowhere. She looks like she's like 6 foot to me.
Yep.
But she's 5'9".
Oh, really?
I don't know what camera angle.
Now is that 5'9" in real height or 5'9" in wrestling height?
Oh, I looked it up.
That's
I didn't
true.
actually just
5'9" in wrestling height is just 5'5".
Yeah.
What's Mariah May? 5'3"?
That's like Adam Cole's 6 feet.
I mean,
remember, people's heights are always crazy different kayfabe. Same with weight, age, things like that.
Orange Cassidy's height's pretty accurate.
Hey, Caesar, look up how tall
No.
red no, just really
We
quick,
don't
Red
have
Velvet.
time for this.
It's just a
Oh man, we're already an hour 20.
I just want to
We
say something
are.
just really quick.
She is 5'1".
Okay, so they put her next to Red Velvet in videos all the time. That's why she looks like a monster.
Oh my god.
Gotta find me a tall friend.
So so we fought. Was that everybody?
I think so.
I'm the only one that has to go, which
Okay.
I'll keep mine short. But Mariah May, doing what we need to do best. Build up your champion, have her be the fighting champion. Go ahead, put her over. Love the fact she wants Mina to come back.
We want
Maybe
that celebration
that's
already.
Storyline's probably going for is the first title defense Mariah is going to be against Mina. But
does she
however-
turn on Mina? Ooh.
Or does Mina turn
well,
on her?
the thing is, what it is when Mariah May turned on Toni Storm originally, Mina wasn't really cool with it. She told Mariah that she did not want to choose sides between her and Toni. So she stayed neutral and stayed in the middle. That's why at All In, she was in the press box while that match was going down. She was basically neutral throughout the whole thing. But Queen Amadana, not gonna lie to you guys, this was my first time watching her tonight because I don't have the time like Mac does to watch Ring of Honor. I don't have the time, unfortunately, as much as I would love to. She impressed the hell out of me tonight. I think AEW, Tony Khan has a star on their hands. It's just, what are they going to do to build that? I think they have somebody that can potentially take out Mercedes Moné as TBS champion.
Yes.
I think that's what they need to do here. Like, they have that Jade Cargill element that they've been missing since Jade has left. They have that person that can help that women's division, especially if you bring up Anthena. Bring up Anthena from Ring of Honor, have that match in AEW, and let that AEW audience know what Queen Amadana is all about. I think that's what they need to go here. For my first time watching her, she really impressed the hell out of me.
Hell yeah. All right, so we follow this segment up with Chris Jericho and the Learning Tree against...
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Hi, guys.
Against the Jack Jamson and the Iron Savages. They really Jericho lets Big Bill beat them down. And Brian Keith. He gets in the ring. He pins I forget which Iron Savage with the old school Jericho foot on the chest. And then post match, he grabs a mic, takes Orange Cassidy's book bag, and pulls out a picture of the best friends. It's very sad, actually, that Orange Cassidy has this in his bag. That really made me sad. I was like, fuck, damn it. So Jericho's got the fucking dirty jacket on, and he's bringing up this. He wants this $7,000 from 4 years ago. And Orange Cassidy decides that he will pay him in coins. So the conglomeration comes out, and they dump all these coins on the car. And I'm not sure that this segment had the same effect that they wanted it to. But I get what they were going for. Did you guys have anything to really say about this?
I think you missed a big. Big plot point here.
I just want to get rid of this whole segment, but yes.
But you've got But no, I know you do. But you missed a big plot point when Jericho said, you have friends here. He goes, nobody has friends in the business. He goes, nobody is your friend. He goes, everybody will eventually. He goes, eventually everybody will turn on you. And Big Bill turned to him and was like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
Yeah, I saw that.
It's just funny because Jericho is saying that. If you look at it, everybody in AEW who has had a faction when it comes to Jericho Appreciation Society and the Inner Circle, who was the one doing most of the turning? It was Jericho. Jericho was the one turning on the people that he called themselves that were their friends.
He's never been the same since the friendship, the festival of friendship. That's really fucked his life up.
On the list.
He can't trust anyone.
How many years ago was that?
It's about like 7.
2016.
Or
Hey, even WWE still references it.
It was a TV smashing on the head that ruined
it. It was building the WrestleMania 31 feud between Kevin Owens and Jericho for that title. So it was
U.S. title, wasn't it?
No, it's not 31. It was 33. My bad.
Yeah,
right.
February 2017.
Wow.
I knew it. I was at that WrestleMania. They had the best stage I've ever seen.
It was a nice
Too long
stage.
of a damn ramp, though.
That's the only thing.
I like the obnoxiously long wrestling ramps. I really love those. Like, they take so long to get to the ring. Sometimes I have to use the cart for the fat guys. They bring the cart and they cut away from them. It's the fucking
They had
best.
to bring out the cart for Taker because Taker had hip surgery months before that.
Please stop making me wrestle, brain. No, we can't get away from it. Anyway.
You can't escape this.
So yeah, Big Bill looking to be that big baby face. I think the reaction in the UK and pretty much his performances since he's gotten to AEW have really made him valuable to the company, and I think they're going to give him a real significant push soon. I hope that they use him well because they're not good with monsters, but we'll see. We will see. Big Bill seems to have a little more charisma than some of the other people that they've tried with. Sorry, Wardlow. So,
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Canceled.
Follow this one up with the last segment that we'll talk about tonight.
Oh shit.
Say it.
Nigel McGuinness walks out to the ring. He essentially leads up to he leads up to calling out Bryan Danielson. Bryan's a coward, but if Bryan can make it to the ring, Nigel will be there waiting. I think he said Oasis will play him down to the ring.
Well, thank you.
But what do you mean? No, thank you. Fuck you. His fucking in the bushes is the best.
No, he just meant that they were gonna have Oasis playing.
Yeah.
His theme, which is like, they're playing your theme they play your theme every time you come out. Why did you say that?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he said it now. Tony Khan should make it happen.
Yeah. I like he did that just for Tony Khan to spend the money.
Could you fucking imagine? Could you imagine? I don't even listen to these guys. I know the one Nigel McGuinness song. That's a lie. I can tell by the reaction when they got together, when they got back together. Or specifically, Nigel does. I know that.
I wonder why.
That's racist. Now, Nigel does call out Bryan. He calls him the American coward. He says if we can make it to the ring, then Nigel will be waiting, and they do make it official later in the night. Bryan Danielson versus Nigel
look at that.
McGuinness.
Beautiful.
I barely remember what Nigel said because as soon as he walked out to the ring for the promo in the same night, I was like,
I think I remember partially what Nigel said. Nigel basically said, am I going to get that Bryan, on the premises of, am I going to get that Bryan Danielson that I wrestled in Ring of Honor? Or am I going to get nothing more but the American coward? Which I forgot what the first part he said, but that's what the premises was. Is like, am I going to get the Bryan Danielson that I know? Or am I going to get that empathetic feel that Moxley has been talking about and we have been talking about? Or am I just going to get that American coward who should be staying at home with his wife and kids?
Ooh.
I believe that's what Nigel was saying. I don't remember the first part, but I do remember the American coward.
yeah, but it wasn't really essential. Essentially, it was just Nigel kind of building up to revealing that it was Bryan that he's calling out, knowing that everybody knew already.
Austin.
Of course, this fucking crowd was dead silent.
Yeah.
Where's the KFC?
Fucking
Made
assholes.
me sick. Listen,
Where's Al Snow at?
I was reading when I was fucking 15 years old. I'm reading PW Insider. I'm reading articles about Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness having what a lot of people were calling like one of the best matches they'd ever seen. I think it was specifically an article just about their rivalry and what they had done up until then. I can't even remember what the fuck I can't remember the words. I just remember reading about this and being like, where do I find this? Where can I find this? And of course, I did find Bryan versus Nigel Unified, 2006. It ends up being one of my one of the matches that makes me the big Ring of Honor fan that I end up being. One of the matches that helped cement my fandom outside of WWE. Bryan Danielson and Nigel McGuinness's feud, to me, I guess it's got to be equivalent to what some people think is like when they see Stone Cold and The Rock. Like, if you can imagine how you'd feel if you saw them standing face to face with each other today, that's what I feel when I see a graphic like this. Like, this can't be real. Like, these this can't be. This is crazy. This is an actual literal dream come true. I can't really. I don't really have more words for it. I've been a write something, and I'm also going to talk more about it in a little while on Third Sheet Radio, the flagship.
Woo!
There we go. I was waiting for
Actually,
that.
going to talk about it a lot more on that show.
You can't keep doing that, Mac.
Mac,
We don't have the
you.
budget for this.
There goes the budget.
But Nick, man, what did you think of Nigel versus Bryan one last time? New York City,
man.
exactly 15 years to the day, or minus 1 day to their last match in Ring of Honor in the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City.
Yeah, dude, like literally the situation was perfect. You know, you said so much that I absolutely agreed with. You know, the timing was right, the location was right. And again, you know, we're coming off of some of the hottest angles in all of AEW, and it was so cool to see Nigel come back at All In. And this is what got everyone going, okay, so this could theoretically happen. We could at some point get Nigel and Danielson. But then, you know, with the way things were looking over the next like several like weeks and months, everyone was like, crap, how do we even get there? Like, where does that even fit in? Like, is this going to just remain a dream? But then we had Nigel being that ultimate opportunist, and I couldn't get enough of that. And I wish that the crowd was as hyped as we are, but again, it's just one of those things. You had to have been there. You had to have experienced it yourself to really appreciate it, like all five of us do. So yeah, I absolutely love this, and it's going to be so cool to see Nigel and Danielson one more time. If I got to throw this at anyone, Mac, I got to throw it your way, buddy.
So I don't think a lot of people know this, but Jonathan and I have been friends for over 10 years, mostly through like communicating online and stuff like that. We met a couple of times at the Hammerstein Ballroom, but John knows exactly how I feel right now. Nigel and Bryan are the two wrestlers that really kept me in the game when WWE was doing Randy Orton and John Cena 250 times on Raw and on pay-per-views and stuff like that. I can't say enough about Nigel Mcguinness. Nigel Mcguinness was my second favorite wrestler in the entire world, with Bryan being first. So, you know, you can see how big this is for me. But Nigel coming back after, everybody saw it, but he put out a DVD called The Last of Mcguinness. And it was just him getting the hepatitis and the CTE test back and not being able to, and being told he was never going to be able to wrestle again, and it just pulled at your heartstrings. And man, just this whole thing, man, it's so fucking surreal for me, because that unified match means so much to my wrestling fandom. Like, it means everything to me, because when I saw that match, up until that point, the greatest professional wrestling match I had ever seen. And I've probably seen better now that the wrestling industry has progressed more. There's been a couple Ospreay matches that I think are better than this match. But this is, when I tell people, when I say, hey, you ever watched Bryan Danielson before? Oh, no. Well, what match should I watch? Well, let me fucking show you. That actually happened to me recently. Somebody texted me on or messaged me on Instagram and asked me what I thought of Nigel Mcguinness coming back. And the person was kind of young. They were in their late 20s, and they said, what match would you show me? And I said, well, I want to show you Bryan versus Nigel at Unified. But I should show you some Nigel Mcguinness matches before we get to Unified, which I showed him the Samoa Joe match for the Pure title. And I showed him the soccer riot match with Cole.
One of y'all motherfuckers is breathing into your mic.
And the soccer riot match with Cole Cabana, and the guy sent me back a message after a couple of days, and he's like, dude, I had no idea that Nigel was this. He's like, I just knew that he was an announcer and a commentator for WWE and now AEW and Ring of Honor sometimes, and he's like, I had no idea that this was Nigel Mcguinness. And he's like, I'm so pumped to, you know, see another Bryan and Nigel match if they ever do it. So this is number one for me. If you said, hey, do you want to see Stone Cold versus The Rock again? I go, no, I'd rather see Nigel Mcguinness and Bryan Danielson. And I say that with my whole dick. I absolutely mean that. I fucking love
the whole thing. Shaft and balls and everything.
Oh man, this show's gone to him.
Have to take off work to watch this match.
It's worth
I might
it.
have to. I might have to do it.
You should just fucking go. You're not far from
Get
New
that
York City.
PTO.
You may get your ass over there. If I was anywhere on that side of the country, I would fucking run. If I already had tickets to Wrestle Dream for the last Bryan match, but I fucking wish I wouldn't. I wish I didn't now. I wish I would have had tickets for a fucking Grand Slam. Nigel versus Bryan match. But again, I don't want to harp too much on it because we have to go. We have to kind of wrap this up, but we will talk about it later on Jersey Radio, and I want to give Robbie and Caesar a chance to say something before
Robbie,
we get out of here.
I'll let Robbie go first because mine's gonna be a bit of a mind blower. So, Robbie, you go first.
For me, as soon as Nigel said that this match is going to happen with him and Bryan, I marked out. One of the major things that I was a really big fan of the old school Ring of Honor, as Mac would say, it was Bryan versus Nigel. Those guys would always have good matches against each other. And the thing was, too, it was pure wrestling. It was that old school mat-based wrestling that I'm into. Guys like Bret Hart would do, Bret and Owen, Kurt Angle. Even sometimes early on, Brock Lesnar, when he was facing Kurt at WrestleMania 19. To me, Bryan and Nigel actually means a whole lot to me. That match made me a Nigel fan and would forever be a Nigel fan. So to hear they're going to do this at least one more time, I know for sure we know what we're going to get into. We're not going to get that same thing. Maybe what they do is they will go into those Ring of Honor pure wrestling rules for just that match. Just for that one match. But I am excited. Can't say nothing more. Nigel is starting a comeback story. I didn't think Nigel was going to be able to come back either. I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he gets to face Bryan one last time. Those guys are going to steal the show at Grand Slam in 2 weeks. No doubt about it. That is going to be very technical. It's going to be submission-based. It might even get bloody, too. But in the end, we are going to get what our money is worth. Now, it makes me wish that I was going to be going to the Arthur Ashe Stadium in 2 weeks to watch that match. All right, Caesar?
So when I heard all the things happening tonight of Nigel saying I've got an announcement, I want to talk to Tony, I was like, what could it be? You know, everyone's mind races. And then he came out to the ring, his music played, and he was standing right smack dab in the middle of the ring. And then he pops out and says, I'm challenging Bryan at the Grand Slam event in 2 weeks. Now, being the hardcore guys you are, you've seen all this stuff for the past 10, 15 years. I've only ever seen one side of the fence in this event, which was like the WWE kind of stuff growing up with wrestling. So to me, this is probably going to be a big deal, as you were saying, because I've never seen those two wrestle. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I've literally seen clips of Nigel, like 20-second clips here and there, 10-second. All the wrestling lists I've seen have mentioned Nigel in the top 50, 40, 20, whatever of the past how many years. And then the Ring of Honor lists I've seen have mentioned him as the top, so many. So this is their first match in 15, and this is my first match with both of them. So I'm really intrigued how this is going to go. And if it's the way that the Top Row gentlemen are saying it, of just straight up mat wrestling, shit, sign me up. Let's go. Give me, 20 minutes, half an hour, 40 minutes? I don't even give a shit. Let's just go. Mm-hmm. That's all I've got on this one. But anyways, John.
Yeah, man, that was pretty much AEW Dynamite tonight. That's the event. That's in a bit of a nutshell, a bit bigger than a nutshell.
Yeah,
so we've got our two segments, our final segments. We'll try to go through it really fast. We got a jobber of the night, powered by comicbookleak.com. Speed round. Drop the name and move it to the next guy. Nick, who's your jobber of the night?
All right, jobber of the night. I'm going to be going with Private Party Commander and the other three literal jobbers that we had there who got absolutely destroyed. Caesar.
I'm gonna go with Leo Rush because even if he did get the dub and get the TNT belt, I don't see him lasting very long around here again. Mac, your turn.
No, it's Robbie next. You go.
Oh shit. Okay.
For me, it's going to have to be the Iron Savages. The Learning Tree, Chris Jericho, and Big Bill and Brian Keith, they make quick work out of these three big dudes. Like, if you're bringing three big dudes in as a trios, you got to build them like they're going to be big. They're going to be strong, and you know what? They make quick work. So, Iron Savages are my jobbers of the night.
I am going to go with FTR for being stupid assholes and attacking another team and taking themselves out of a tag title match.
I can't argue with that.
That's true.
I'm gonna go with Private Party because Grand Slam is in New York and they couldn't even get a spot in the Gauntlet match. Dirty. That's dirty. That's how you know. That's how you know what Tony Khan thinks of them.
Probably lost their spot to the Outrunners.
Jesus says John of the Night is Tony Khan for booking that for the horrible booking during the main event. I see where you're coming from. I think we talked about that earlier, where it was like I think he was thinking of match quality more than the tag division, because Ricochet and Kyle Fletcher versus the Young Bucks is going to go hard. It's just not going to help the tag division very much. So that brings us to our megastar of the night, and I guess we could treat it the same way. I'll start because I went last, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Jon Moxley. And I mean, I guess Jon Moxley's crew, whatever the BCC, if they're still that, although it doesn't really feel like they are, they made the episode about them. Nick?
You know what? I'm going to be going the same route. You know, Jon Moxley, the show was honestly built all around him. He came off like an amazing star. And again, he is without a doubt the one that you're going to be watching this show for. If you haven't seen it already, you're going to be watching it for everything Jon Moxley has done on the pay-per-view. Caesar.
I'm saying it because I'm looking forward to the potential reunion of these guys, and it's Fletcher and Ospreay. That was a hell of a setup with them in the match, and I'm looking forward to them at the tag match coming forward with them and the Young Bucks. Robbie?
I'm going to go with the same route as Caesar. Yeah! Ospreay and Fletcher are my megastars of the night. They even showed some pretty good tag team stuff there in the night as well. I love the little combination moves that they were doing. I love the ending too of how they ended up leading into the Hidden Blade tonight with Will Ospreay.
Oh, that was amazing.
That was amazing right there. So it's right there for my megastars tonight. It has to be Ospreay and Fletcher as well.
My megastar. You know what? I'm going to change my jobber of the night. I'm going to change my jobber of the night to that fucking crowd because Nigel McGuinness is my megastar of the night. Because
I just sounds so pissed off now.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, Nigel's sitting there. He's holding that piece of paper. He's shaking. He's so excited that he's getting back in the ring. He's fucking shaking. It's been 14 years and he's shaking. And he's like, I'm getting back in the ring. And the crowd's like, oh,
cool.
And I'm like, I was wishing for a fast spreading fire. I hated that fucking crowd.
Don't cheer for that, but cheer the Outrunners.
Fucking Kentucky.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Cheer for the fucking team from the 80s because your goddamn state hasn't got out of it.
It's a bunch of Jim Cornettes in the crowd.
That's
3,000 Jim Cornettes sitting there. I guess I made that number up. But yeah, that's us. That was our megastar. I think. Was that all of us?
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. That was us, man. That's AEW Dynamite post-show rewind, recap, review. But again, if you had fun with us, Dershi Radio was on every day. Dershi Radio was on daily streams, daily podcasts, daily post-show rewinds. On Monday nights, we're on after Raw. On Tuesday nights, we're on immediately after NXT. On Wednesdays, of course, after Dynamite. On Thursdays, we're on after Impact. Fridays, after SmackDown. Sundays, we are on after, the boys are watching the NXT Level Up, and they're discussing it. And then on Sunday afternoons, we got the 3NT Wrestling on Dershi Radio live. And also later, immediately after this, I'd say almost immediately, the Dershi Radio flagship podcast that we go live in the middle of the night, and then it's posted for you to listen to in the morning when you're on your way to work or when you're at work and the boss isn't checking you for your headphones in your ears. So listen to the flagship where we talk about the last 7 days in professional wrestling news and rumors. But that's us, man. That's the AEW Dynamite Post-Show Rewind. A full house tonight. Thank you all for joining us. Woo! We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
We'll see you in about an hour.
That's true. Best kept secret.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.